Bitcoin is still rhyming with history. We've got a setup here which looks like a fairly high probability to continue taking us up, and I want to outline it for you. It doesn't mean that I subscribe to this theory or anything like that, but there's definitely some merit to this, and I want to show it to you with the fractals that we've been talking about. I've been showing you how Bitcoin is basically, just kind of rhyming with history with this price action. It's really interesting to watch, and it's all specifically to do with this area of price action right here when Bitcoin crashed down to $3,000 during the COVID crash, and then rallied up to 20,000 all the way, where was it, up here, shortly afterwards. That was a very impressive rally for the last 9 months of 2020. And what's really, really interesting is this section of price action here. And we can actually see that it's really similar to what we're in right now. So you guys that are subscribed are going to be familiar with this analysis that I'm sharing with you, where we had a really explosive rally up, consolidated for a long time, broke out, but then came back down and then bounced up. And we're still forming that same pattern. See, like, I just want to draw this one by one to really prove the point. We've got the, and in fact, I'm just going to use a slightly different tool here. Bear with, I'm going to use the arrow tool instead. So we get the first big move up that looks like this, all right? So let's paint that on this chart. Then we get the second one that looks like this, so we got that. Then we get the breakout, which doesn't last. We got that, and a bit of sideways, got that too, the pullback. Yeah, I know, it's freaky, right? Like, it's kind of weird for me to show this to you. And this is kind of where we are now. We're somewhere around here, the rest is history, really, isn't it? So if you're excited for that, do me a favor and smash up the likes as you're coming into this YouTube video. Double check that you're subscribed and you've got the bell icon checked, and that you are also subscribed to the 𝐷𝗫𝗡s Daily channel. Of course, you don't want to be missing out on the altcoin analysis, and I have a lot of videos for altcoins that I'm about to record right after this one. So make sure that you are subscribed to that channel there. But this is where things get really fun, and we've got even more similarities to it. This is what I want to draw your attention to right now, and it's literally it's just breaking down the same move. We're forming a fractal within a fractal right now, which is where this all, it almost becomes comedic. It becomes a bit funny, to be honest, but you'll understand when I show you this. It's kind of weird. If you look at the big pump up, we've basically done the same thing again, in a sense, and I've outlined to you what that looks like here. We get the move up, consolidation, move up, consolidation, another move up, consolidation, and it's basically the whole fractal from here up until here, basically, that we have done. From here up until here, we've formed something similar. Very different time frames. This took months, multiple months, and the price went up by 170%, right? So very, very different, time frames, very, very different price scales. But, what's undeniable, and I know that you guys are already typing away on your keyboards for why fractals aren't reliable, and I'm with you, they're not the best tool in the world, but at what point are you going to stop turning your back to these, to be honest, kind of creepy coincidences, right? A fractal within a fractal, and the perfection with which we've followed what happened in history. You can choose not to pay attention to it, and that's you. I don't, it's not my business if you pay attention to things like this or not. But at the same time, let's be realistic, guys. This is, at what point is it more than a coincidence, right? That's the question that I'm asking you guys in this YouTube video, just about what we could be in right now. We've seen a huge pump up when this happened. Obviously, we can't see, something like that necessarily. I don't want to be expecting the moon and stars, from this pump right here. The time frame is way smaller. The price action itself, in terms of percentage moves, are way smaller. So we're not expecting crazy shit to happen. But a push up towards that 30K level off this area can make a lot of sense. And before I do talk about that, I just want to stay on this fractal for a second and appreciate how we followed every single step. Right, the only step that we've deviated from is this one right here. Previously we stayed low for a little bit longer, and then we just kind of broke out. So we are deviating from it a little bit now, but and by the way, the fact that we followed the fractal perfectly up to this point doesn't mean we're going to continue to follow it perfectly. I want to make this very clear. But again, at what point, the coincidences, right? It's just worth paying attention to. I'm not saying that I'm making decisions based off this whatsoever, but I'd be a fool if I didn't pay attention to this, I think. And if you're with me, then you're probably still watching this YouTube video. So, you probably have a similar opinion to that. But this is the price action that's definitely poised to take the market higher, because for me, what I'm seeing here is that we've basically, we've got a range, right? And I've outlined this range for you guys, quite a bit on this YouTube channel. It's actually on this chart. And this range is basically, where Bitcoin has more or less just consolidated now for quite a while from, where we entered it to where we are now. It's been about a month and a half, which, considering the volatility, I mean, I want to put this volatility in perspective for you guys very quickly. This move, was 7 days to move up by 43%, right? But this entire range here spans 13%. We did this move in 7 days. We went up by 40%. And here it's been 45 days and we've only gone up by 13%, 14%. So you really get an idea of how volatility has slowed down as we've approached this range, yet we're not getting, a big rejection of that 30K level. And that is something that we need to pay attention to, right? Like the fact that we're holding so much strength here, the fact that we only had a 13%, honestly, a pullback that should have gone much deeper, right? It was only kind of manipulated price action that took us out of it, which very well means we could return to it. And I'm not closed off to that idea whatsoever. But the fact that we have kind of hung around in this area for a while, and now we're trying to knock on the door to break out higher, that says something, that does, warrant some attention. It might not be what sets the market on fire, but it does warrant some attention. We've got a really nice EMA ribbon right here on this chart, which the price has fallen into and we've now recovered from. I was pretty pessimistic about this EMA ribbon. I was telling you guys that I was actually expecting us to fail the support, but there you have it. The support works better than I do, which is phenomenal. I love seeing that I was wrong in terms of how we interact with key support indicators that I use, because it just reaffirms to me that this strategy is more successful than I am. And that's, that's a good thing, right? I'd rather be the weak link instead of my strategy being the weak link, because I can work on myself, but a strategy is not a person, right? It can't improve itself, So I'm happy with that. That just further reaffirms to me that I shouldn't lose faith in key indicators that I like, which is great. I've learned that lesson very well over the years, and I've had a new little rock put on top of the big pile of rocks of lessons that I've accumulated over the years. What a weird analogy for lessons using rocks. But anyway, here we are. We've gotten the move up here, potentially ready to see some volatility to the upside. And this is where things get pretty exciting, because it opens up a lot of trading opportunities in the market. If we do start to break out, we could be looking at a big move. Now, I've warned you guys that we have a lot of resistance here, which still makes the whole range very dangerous. But if we are able to, perhaps consolidate a little bit and then break out, which is exactly what we're doing right now, that is going to probably increase the power with which we, break out, and as a result, we might, pump further, the more we consolidate. That generally, in my experience, is what happens. And, I've got a beautiful bit of evidence to demonstrate that for you guys, which is right here. This was a very long period of consolidation. So naturally, we came out of it with quite an explosive rally. Then we had a bit of boring chop here, a bit of boring chop here, a little bit here. So we were rewarded with volatility, So when we get these periods of, quite low volatility, which we are in, I've proven that to you very clearly now, that doesn't necessarily last forever. And when it stops, things can get pretty face melting pretty quickly. I mean, a week of price action, to go up by 40% is absolutely insane. We couple that with the traditional finance landscape here. I mean, a Friday, trading session looking like this for the S&P 500 is a big fucking deal. NASDAQ has swept its high. We're looking good, guys. We're looking good for traditional finance as far as I'm concerned. So that's kind of, even more ammunition for these markets. I am a little bit concerned. We head over to the 4Flies dashboard by the Fear and Greed Index. That's staying pretty high. We're basically right in, greedy. We're quite deep into greedy territory here. Long and short ratio is pretty even. Slightly more longs on Binance, doesn't really matter. Slightly more shorts on Bybit. Long traders still leaning majority long. So this is giving us more neutral signs. I guess, top traders leaning long is a good sign. But it's nothing crazy. We do have the FOMC meeting coming up very, very soon. That's only in about 4 days from now. So, that's going to be very interesting. And there's definitely going to be some interesting trading opportunities around that time. And obviously, it pays to to be able to use simple platforms when you're doing that. And I want to highlight CoinEx to you guys for that exact reason. This is a platform that it's a crypto exchange. It's got all the same standard features as the rest of them, but this exchange is focusing on making it easy for traders that don't quite have the experience level that they want to be at yet. So they've basically worked to make this a very user-friendly interface and so on. And we've got quite a lot of options here as well. So I want you guys to check this out if you think it's something that you'd be interested in. You're getting some cool bonuses and rewards just by signing up using my link in the description down below. And of course, one of the most important things with any exchange is, can you trust it? And these guys have demonstrated 100% proof of reserves with Merkle tree, which is a way that companies prove if they actually hold the funds that they say they hold. And it's all on the blockchain as well, which means that anyone can check it, which is absolutely phenomenal. They've got all the coin pairs that you would want to trade. So definitely check them out if you're interested in something like that. This is going to be, it's a super easy user interface. You basically can just ignore all of this and all of this. You don't need to worry about anything really other than this box right here, and this isn't much to learn. So if you are interested in checking it out, then you can follow the link in the description and sign up there. I've already got my account here as well. They actually reached out to me, and I was, the reason I'm open to things like this is, when you have exchanges that declutter things and make them simple, you're just going to have users making less mistakes. And the fact is, you don't need all the complicated shit on other exchanges too. This is more than enough for me. People might think that I have very advanced trading strategies. I don't. They're extremely simple. This is, more than enough for what I need. But other exchanges that just kind of try and pile on a bunch of stuff, which, you might like. A lot of that stuff is useful, but only in very niche kind of particular instances, and really just for day traders that are super aggressive, which most of you guys, I'm guessing, are not. I'm curious, actually. Let me know in the comments. Like, are you a day trader? Are you aggressive? Are you more of an investor? Let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious to hear about that in this YouTube video comment section. I'll be checking that out after I've uploaded this video. But yeah, that breakout is kind of what I'll be looking at. And if we zoom in really close, we can see on the hourly time frame that we are coiling up a little bit. So that could be a sign that a breakout is close. I don't know how much weight I would put on this. It's it is a triangle, so that's definitely clear, but I don't know. It's quite manipulated price action. I like how we've hit the bottom line quite a bit, but the top line I don't think has had enough interactions. We've got 4 interactions down here, but only 3 up here. I guess this is 3 and 4 to be fair, so it's okay. Not the longest term pattern. This pattern is only developed across the course of 3 days, so it's not perfect, but it is something. And if we do get a breakout from here, this is probably going to be leaning higher just because we came into this pattern from the upside. It was so manipulated though that it's realistically it's quite hard to say what might actually happen in terms of a breakout from this pattern, which is why I stick to this range here that I've been showing you in these videos. Is we break this, we're probably pretty bearish. We break this, we might be bullish. Again, it's hard. I don't want to sound too confident about any particular direction right now because of all the manipulation in the market and all the resistance up ahead. That does make it very, very difficult. But what's not difficult is seeing that this market is ripe for taking advantage of. It might take a few more days to be presented with a very safe trading opportunity, which is the only thing I'll settle for. Nothing other than very, very safe is good enough for me. But with Ethereum kind of consolidating at this support resistance area, I don't even know, because we've been moving up about this area very, very crazily as well. What we do have quite clearly is a big cushiony area of support down here, which could be very interesting to play with. And of course other altcoins still, Matic, a great example, still looking poised to drop lower, basically just to be honest, just kind of consolidating below their resistance areas, which is if you're coming at it from a downtrend, is not a good sign, right? This is a classic sign that the market could be breaking down. And if we take a quick peek at dominance, we're going to see actually that Bitcoin's been doing something really weird, which is, staying very, very high, as I've been saying for a while. So there's a lot to unpack here, and I'll be doing that on the altcoin channel right after this video is up. So I'll see you all there very, very soon. If you have enjoyed this video, you know exactly what to do. Head up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all of that good stuff. Double check that you are subscribed to the 𝐹𝐺 Daily channel, because that's where I'm going to be right after this YouTube video. And of course, if you want to check out CoinEx, then you can also follow the link in the description down below to sign up there and check this exchange out as well. Really hope you've enjoyed this one. You know exactly what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.